Imagine a woman in the ancient times struggling with something many women today can relate to: childlessness. Picture Hannah, the wife of Elkanah, a woman of deep faith, yet plagued with the agony of barrenness. In a society where a woman's worth was often tied to her ability to bear children, Hannah's childlessness was not just a personal sorrow, but also a societal stigma. Hannah was not alone in her marriage. She shared her husband Elkanah with another woman, Peninnah, who was blessed with children. This, as you can imagine, only deepened Hannah's pain. The echoes of children's laughter, the sight of Peninnah's joyous motherhood, were constant reminders of what Hannah yearned for, yet did not have. Every year, Hannah and her family would journey to the sanctuary in Shiloh to offer sacrifices, a journey that should have been a spiritual retreat. But for Hannah, it was a pilgrimage of pain. As Peninnah's children ran around, their laughter piercing the air, Hannah's heart ached with the emptiness of her womb. Yet in this bitterness of soul, Hannah was not defeated. Her spirit was not crushed. Instead, she poured her pain into prayer, her tears a silent testament to her faith. Her childlessness, rather than diminishing her faith, seemed to fuel it. Hannah, in her sorrow, sought solace not in the earthly but in the divine. She turned her face towards the heavens, her heart heavy with longing yet filled with unwavering faith. Hannah's story is not just a tale of pain and longing, but also one of resilience and faith. Her sorrow did not define her, but rather, it refined her. It shaped her into a woman of profound faith, a woman who, in the face of despair, chose to trust in the divine. Hannah's story is a testament to the power of faith, to the strength that can be found in surrendering oneself to a higher power. And yet in her pain, Hannah found a wellspring of faith, a beacon in the midst of her storm. While Hannah carried a silent burden, she was not alone. By her side, Elkanah, her husband, a man of patience and devotion. In the tapestry of life, it is the threads of love and devotion that weave the most beautiful patterns. Such was the bond between Elkanah and Hannah. Despite the societal expectations of the time, Elkanah's love for Hannah was not defined by her ability to bear children. His devotion to her was steadfast, unwavering, a testament to their profound bond. Elkanah, a man of faith, was a beacon of support for Hannah. His love was not swayed by the barrenness that Hannah carried like a heavy shroud. He loved her for who she was, not for what she could give him. His devotion was a sanctuary, a safe haven where Hannah could seek refuge from her silent pain. In Elkanah, we see a man who loved his wife not for her ability to bear offspring, but for her spirit, her strength, her unwavering faith. His love was not the kind that demanded, but rather it was the kind that gave. It gave strength to Hannah in her moments of despair. It gave hope when all seemed lost. It gave a promise of enduring love, irrespective of the circumstances. Elkanah's actions were not grand gestures of love, but rather, they were small acts of kindness, of understanding, of empathy. His patience was a soothing balm, his words a soft whisper of consolation. He was a pillar of strength, a beacon of hope in the stormy seas of Hannah's despair. His love for Hannah was a portrait of unconditional love. It was a love that did not falter, did not waver, even in the face of adversity. It was a love that bore the weight of Hannah's pain, shared her sorrow, and celebrated her spirit. In the story of Elkanah and Hannah, we see the embodiment of love and devotion. We see a man who loved without condition, who loved without expectation. We see a love that was steadfast, that was unwavering, that was enduring. Through Elkanah, we witness the power of unconditional love. In her deepest despair, Hannah turned to prayer, a heartfelt plea to the heavens, a testament to her faith. Picture this, a woman consumed by sorrow, yearning for a child of her own. Amidst the bustling temple, she found a quiet corner, bowed her head, and whispered her prayer. This was not a prayer of casual wish or a fleeting desire. This was the prayer of a woman who knew the power of faith and the potential of divine intervention. Hannah's prayer was a plea, a pact, and a promise. She asked for a son, but not for her own fulfillment. She sought a child to dedicate to the service of God. This was not a bargaining chip, but rather a pledge of total devotion. She promised to give her most cherished gift back to the source from where it came. Her prayer was a testament to her faith, her belief in a power greater than herself. She did not demand, she did not command, she simply asked, with a humble heart and a hopeful spirit. Her words were not loud, but they echoed with the immense strength of her faith. In her prayer, Hannah showed us the embodiment of true surrender, a complete submission to God's will. She did not pray for an easy life, but for a meaningful one. She prayed not for blessings to keep, but for blessings to offer back. Hannah's prayer was a lesson in patience, in perseverance, and in the power of unwavering faith. It was a beacon of hope in the midst of despair, a demonstration of strength in the face of adversity. It was a silent prayer, a private conversation between a woman and her God. But the echoes of this prayer have resonated throughout history, inspiring countless hearts with its profound message of faith, surrender, and selfless love. In Hannah's prayer, we see a woman of incredible strength and faith, willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for an answered prayer. Hannah's prayers were heard. In her arms, she held the answer to her prayers, a son, Samuel. In the stillness of a humble home, the air was filled with a joy that words could hardly capture. Samuel, the child of Hannah's fervent prayers, had arrived. Laughter and tears intermingled as Hannah gazed upon her son, her heart brimming with a love that was profound and fierce. Hannah's journey to motherhood was not an easy one. She had known the sting of barrenness, the bitterness of a heart yearning for a child she could not have. But Hannah was not one to be defeated. She was a woman of faith, a woman who believed in the power of prayer, and so she prayed. She prayed with all her heart, her soul echoing with a plea that reached the heavens. And the heavens responded. With the birth of Samuel, Hannah's world transformed. Her sorrow was replaced by joy, her despair by hope. Samuel was more than just a son. He was the embodiment of Hannah's faith, a living testament to her unwavering belief in the power of prayer. As Hannah held Samuel close, she could feel the rhythm of his tiny heart against her own. Each beat was a reminder of the journey she had undertaken, a journey marked by faith, courage, and resilience. It was a journey that led her to this moment, a moment of pure, unadulterated joy. The birth of Samuel was more than just the arrival of a child. It was the dawn of a new era. Hannah's joy knew no bounds as she celebrated the miracle of life, the miracle of answered prayers. In the end, Hannah's story is not just about the birth of Samuel. It is a story of faith, a story of resilience, a story of a woman who dared to believe in the impossible. And in doing so, she brought forth a life that would change the course of history. Samuel's birth was more than just an answered prayer. It was a testament to Hannah's unwavering faith. Hannah, true to her promise, gave back her most precious gift to God. Imagine the magnitude of that decision. The child she had yearned for, wept for, prayed for, she willingly gave him up, dedicating his life to the Lord's service. This was not a decision taken lightly, but a solemn vow, a testament of her unyielding faith and profound love. In this pivotal act, Hannah set Samuel on a path that would forever change the course of history. Samuel grew up to become one of the most influential prophets within the ancient Israelite tradition, a beacon of wisdom and leadership. His life, dedicated to God's service, was the fruit of Hannah's sacrifice, a sacrifice born out of faith and love. But Hannah's sacrifice was not just about Samuel, it was also about her. It was an act of surrender, a relinquishment of control. It was her way of saying, "Lord, I trust you with my child, with my heart, with my future." She surrendered her most precious possession, not out of obligation, but out of love. And in doing so, she discovered a profound truth, that in giving, we receive. In surrendering, we gain. The story of Hannah and Samuel challenges us to reflect on our own lives. What are we holding on to that we need to surrender to God? What precious gift are we willing to give back in gratitude and love? These are not easy questions, but they are crucial ones if we are to fully embrace the journey of faith. Just like Hannah, we all have something valuable to offer. It may not be a child, but it could be a talent, a skill, a passion. And just like Hannah, we too can make a difference, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem. Hannah's story is a testament to the power of faith, the strength of a woman's heart, and the enduring bond of love. It invites us to reflect on our own journeys, reminding us that even in our deepest despair, there is always hope.